You really gonna go through with this?
I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about that new Last of Us Part 2 trailer that they dropped at Paris Games Week, and we're going to break it down. First of all, I just want to say thank you for the incredible support and love you showed to that video. I can't believe it. It's like up to 16,000 views already, and I'm blown away. None of my videos ever get that high. There's only been one that's been higher than that, so thank you so much for all the love you've shown on that video. It really was such a surprise and a shock to me, and I loved every second of it. So thanks for watching. And let's get to the new video, because let me tell you something. I went through this trailer frame by frickin' frame and I tore it apart. So we're going to go through it with the fine-tooth comb first, and we're going to break it down scene by scene. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the trailer for you in its entirety, uninterrupted, with no commentary, so you can see for yourself the beauty that is that fucking trailer. And I'm so living for it. I am so here for it. And I'm so thrilled that they gave us a little taste. So let's get to the theory and analysis. And there's a lot to talk about. From the first moment that the trailer comes on, the environment looks alive. We are looking up at the sky as we're moving. It is the forest, the night sky. You see thunder, lightning. You see the reflection of the fire in the trees, and we're being dragged and we're looking up. As we're looking up, we see lightning in the sky. There is a storm. There is the sound of thunder and rain. Ominous music plays in the background, and now we know that this is Gustavo Santaolall's music playing. You can tell his musical style. It's so iconic, especially for The Last of Us. It kind of gave it away for me, I have to say, because as soon as I heard it, I'm like, then I saw the burning car. It all fit perfectly, but I still wasn't sure. We're being carried by two hooded figures. One is carrying a torch. They are dragging a bound woman towards a burning car. This is the first of many elements that were referenced in the Outbreak Day poster that we will see. There also looks to be two highway signs above us for a split second. Cannot make out what they say. It looks like one's green. It's really hard to tell. The background is very dark. She's dragged to a clearing and dropped to the ground. As she looks up, she sees three bodies hanging from, it looks like scaffolding to me, and if this is indeed a highway overpass that we're under, it would make sense that there was metal scaffolding, because you hear a creaking that sounds like metal, like struggling, like creaking from the weight of the bodies. And one of the bodies can clearly be seen. This man has been disemboweled and he is hanging there. The woman on the ground starts to struggle and panic. They grab her and put a rope around her neck to be hanged. Behind her you can see a column and a concrete slab that you would see if you were on a highway or an overpass, so it kind of makes sense in the scene. There's ivy that can be seen on the trees behind her as she hangs. This would indicate to me that this takes place a few years after the outbreak and nature is slowly taking over. And there is another sort of metal structure behind her. It almost looks like a lattice of some sort. A woman walks up to her, takes her hood off, and shows her a large knife. She lifts up the woman's shirt and she holds it to her stomach, and she says to the woman, "They are nested with sin. Free them so they may know my..."
They are nested with sin. Free them that they may know my...
And she's interrupted. I have tried researching the phrase since I saw the trailer yesterday. I assumed it was something biblical, but there's nothing that I found as of the time of recording this. So if you found anything on this saying, let me know. I think it just might be the mantra of their group, their cult, which we'll get into that. It really sounds like a quote from the Bible to me, which to me symbolizes that this group is a fanatical religious group or a cult. Now, I have to say, the physics of the body of the woman and her muscle tone and the way she's breathing in and out and the way the water is reflective on her skin is so incredibly beautiful and dynamic. They really have stepped up their game as if you didn't think they could step it up anymore. Naughty Dog has done it. That scene with the water is on her skin reflecting, and you see her muscles tense as she's nervous and breathes in and out heavily. You can see the muscles move. It's brilliantly done. It's so well done, and it just takes you right into the world that they are in, and you are feeling everything she's feeling, the fear and the terror. I would think that maybe the saying that she's nested with sin, that she thinks that this woman is pregnant very early in the pregnancy, obviously, because that girl is swole as hell. She is beautiful. Her body is gorgeous. Her body is pure muscle, but very early in pregnancy, especially if it's the apocalypse, you don't have a lot of food to eat, you don't really start showing until you're later on. So it could quite possibly be the very early stages of a pregnancy, which we'll talk about. So she's interrupted by a whistle in the distance. And luckily for our hanging girl, she stops to turn to see what all the commotion and the yelling is about. She knows who the woman is. She calls her Yara. Yara is being dragged by two people in the group against her will. Now, one thing that I noticed after watching and rewatching this trailer is that I noticed that all of the people in this group, not including the woman hanging, who is the outsider, all of the people in this group are wearing a type of uniform, or like maybe like what a priest or what a nun would wear, like that type of uniform to symbolize their being in the cult or representing themselves as this cult. They're all wearing brown, long, hooded jackets. They're also wearing white shirts with like a small collar that almost reminds me of a priest collar, but it is a modest white shirt, and the pants are brown. The shoes, I think, are brown. And the coat that they're wearing, except for Yara, she doesn't have a coat on. She's running without a coat. Everyone has the brown coat with the hood. So this would seem like this is their garb that this cult wears. Because normally you would see ripped t-shirts, blue jeans, black pants, like different colors. They were all wearing the same color. Every person that is in that clearing, except for the woman hanging and the other character that comes in, are all wearing the same colored and type of clothes. Very specific type of clothing. So I thought that was interesting, and it just kind of goes to further my point that I think this is absolutely a religious cult. Not like we need a lot of convincing on this part, but I thought it was a cool little item that I don't know if anyone else has seen, but I've noticed it. Let me know what you think. The woman in charge, who we don't know her name yet in the trailer, she asks Yara, where's the other apostate? An apostate is someone who renounces a religion or political belief or principle, a deserter, a traitor, a turncoat. And it seems that they are going to pay for deserting this cult, and this is the price they're going to have to pay. There's someone else missing. She's trying to find out from Yara where they went. She is not telling. So this woman and another person had tried to escape. Yara spits in the leader's face. The woman tells the two men holding her to clip her wings. Now, clip her wings sounds something very symbolic of someone, a bird trying to fly away, someone trying to escape, clip her wings so she can no longer escape and leave. And this seems very symbolic and religious themed. So one man brings out a hammer. This is the hammer from the Outbreak Day poster. Another clue that we are dealing with the exact references that we've seen. They spelled it all out for us in the Outbreak Day poster, and it is incredible. So they throw Yara on the ground, they hold her arms out, and one man breaks her arm viciously, violently with the hammer. He strikes her 4 times to break her arm. As he hands the hammer to the other man holding her down, he raises his hammer to break her other arm, and a shot rings out, and he gets hit in the face with an arrow. Then a second shot with an arrow right to the chest. He goes down, drops the hammer. The leader then grabs the gun from her holster. She tries to shoot, but then another arrow whizzes by. It is very dark. She cannot see who or what is coming for her. She shoots 4 times. While turning, trying to desperately see where the shots are coming from, she winds up right underneath our girl hanging. She puts the leader in a chokehold with her legs, trying to buy herself some time, and poor Yara, who's lying on the ground. She cannot shoot the hanging woman because she is out of ammo. The gun clicks repeatedly before she throws the gun down in frustration. She tries to struggle to break free, but Yara comes up and strikes her in the head with the hammer. She tries to struggle, but Yara takes her out with the hammer to her skull. Yara falls to the ground, and our hanging woman lets go of the dead leader. She lets go of the woman, and she struggles to keep breathing. There's more thunder and lightning. The setting is so ominous and dark, and the music and the rain is just setting the scene. It's such a gruesome scene. A young man with shaved head comes out with his bow and arrow. This is our friend who helped us escape, and obviously the other apostate escapee that was also missing. He emerges from the woods calling for Yara. He seems to be very wary of the woman hanging. He does not go to help her. He walks around her quite cautiously. The young man tells Yara that the demons are coming. Another religious reference. Yara tells the man to cut her down. When he turns, it looks like he has a scar on his cheek. coming down his cheekbone towards his mouth. He looks at her and says, she's one of them. Yara calls him Lev. Lev cuts her down and she falls to the ground. She gasps and wheezes. Lev cuts her hands free. She's able to take the rope off around her neck. The woman crawls towards the dead leader's body and grabs the hammer from her head, and she pulls the hammer out of her skull. She grabs her neck and holds the hammer. They only have a few seconds before they have to get ready. Something is coming. She tells Yara and Lev to watch their backs.
Watch your backs.
You hear a familiar musical tone, a violin, a close-up of the bloody handle of the hammer and her arm, just like the Outbreak Day poster. Enter the clickers and fade to black. So this trailer, really, I broke it down to very detailed, just so we didn't miss anything. I know a lot of things are obvious, but I really wanted to take it apart and really get into it. Let's talk about the Outbreak Day poster and compare it to what we've seen today. The hammer was predominantly shown in the poster and in this trailer. The burning car in the forest, the background, the lush trees and forest, the highway. Now, in the Outbreak Day trailer, there was the outline of a wolf. I don't think literally there is a wolf in this game. I think it is symbolic of the group that we've seen. I feel like they associate themselves with being a wolf. But the wolf does symbolize a predator. The wolf is an apex predator, which means it has no natural enemies. This is so important to the meaning of the group we find underneath the highway. Wolves form packs, and they have hierarchies within these packs, like this group. So they are killing, sacrificing, and punishing at their will and at their whim. And there is no one to stop them. But there is a change coming. Our nameless protagonist has infiltrated this group, and she now has the power. They have taken out the leader, and they are on their own. Why a hammer? Why is this hammer such a big part of this trailer and this Outbreak Day poster? What is the symbolism? The when and where of this trailer, when it takes place, is extremely important. This world is extremely violent and brutal. There is no mercy shown to the victims. It is a symbol of domination and power. This is shown quite literally in the trailer. I also did a separate video not too long ago on Outbreak Day breaking down this poster. I broke down the poster. I did a whole video on it. I'll link it in the description box, so you can really see the detail in which I broke everything down. Now, let's talk about the first Outbreak Day poster that they did was 2016, where it showed Ellie's arm, or an arm, her pocket knife with the moths or the butterflies surrounding her. It was a peaceful, beautiful setting. She wasn't tightly gripping her knife. It was very relaxed and loose, and it was almost peaceful. This year's Outbreak Day poster is the complete opposite of that. I believe that this woman, and so many other people believe just from, hearing everyone on social media, that I believe that this is Ellie's mom. I believe this is Anna. And I believe this poster is Anna. It is Anna's arm holding the hammer, that muscular arm. I assumed it was a male because it was so muscular, a young male's arm. I did not think it was Joel's arm at all, but it is her arm. And the fact that they have the side-by-side comparison of Ellie's arm being relaxed, and the first game was about love, the second game is going to be all about hate. You see the difference so clearly in the Outbreak Day posters. This year's poster was surrounded by fire, chaos, and violence. I believe that the symbolism of this picture is without a doubt telling us that this is Ellie's mom. Two sides of the same person, mother and daughter. She is also the only character where we don't know the name of. Laura Bailey is on board to play one of the characters, but Naughty Dog refused to say the name of a character. They actually have it blacked out. I'm going to post all the pictures, the character pictures, and their names. I believe this is Anna's origin story. And I believe that this scene takes place in the past, with a few years, maybe 4 or 5 years into the outbreak. And I believe that this group is a religious fanatic group or cult. And if you don't follow along and follow the rules of this cult, you will be punished, you will be sacrificed. And you're going to be used as an example. Also, just to mention quick, it's been widely accepted that this game, part of the game, or at least some of the game, takes place in Seattle. There was a Reddit post where they did an actual street-by-street breakdown. Part of this game is unofficially taking place in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. Nothing has been confirmed by Naughty Dog, but they did it like a street comparison. It's basically some of the game is being taken place in Seattle. So if this woman is Ellie's mom, Anna, how did she get from Seattle to Boston to have Ellie? Ellie was born in the QZ in Boston. Was she trying to escape this group the whole way? that she had to flee to the Northeast to get away from them, or is it something else? I believe that this scene is the catalyst that drives Ellie's mom to escape to Boston and to get as far away as she can. I believe that this point in the timeline that Anna becomes a Firefly. She is so strong and capable. She's probably one of the leaders. She is also a nurse that they said in The Last of Us Left Behind, they said that she was a nurse. I wonder how that's gonna play into it. I also believe that we're gonna see a young Marlene and see how their relationship is together. And I think that's going to be a cool Easter egg. We're going to see her. I think that'll be a cool nod to Marlene. I also believe we're going to see a young baby Ellie in this. I think without a doubt we're going to see her. Her being born, her saying her goodbye to Ellie because she knows she's going to die soon. I believe we're going to see that history unfold before us. Now, Neil Druckmann had a video prepared. It went up not long after the trailer dropped, talking about this trailer, and he was very shady and very sneaky in his words. He talked about how the first Last of Us was an ensemble piece. We saw a bunch of different characters, and this game we're also going to see different characters in the game. This group, we're going to see how they all connect. He also said this was a little sneaky what he says. We're going to focus on some of the other really important characters. Really important. So this, to me, is pretty much confirmation that this is Anna. This is Ellie's mom. Without a doubt, we're going to see her origin story. This will reiterate the theme of hate that the second game is going to have. I believe at the end of this reveal, after we know it's Ellie's mom, Anna, I believe we're going to see this take place at the very beginning of the game. And I think we're going to see Anna die. And I think her death is going to be the cause of another, either by a grievous injury or by a bite of an infected, maybe from someone who has betrayed her. This is where Ellie's murderous rage comes from. She will learn about this, and this is what is going to set her off on her revenge. She says, I'm going to find and I am going to kill every last one of them. This is where her anger and her hatred stems from. Is this the religious group that she wants to take her revenge out on? Or is it the Fireflies? I think we will be playing two games simultaneously, and I'm so excited for it. I think we were going to see Ellie's mom's timeline and Ellie's timeline play out at the same time. We will go back and forth from character story to character story. And I feel like we will only see the story unfold of Anna's at the very end of the game. We will see how she dies. And I believe we will see and play these timelines simultaneously. And I think it's going to be incredible. That is my theories. That is my breakdown. Let me know in the comments what you think. I know this is really detailed. This is all speculation. Am I right? Who knows? Only Neil Druckmann knows, and he is being very sneaky about it. So I am so excited to see where this game is going to take us. They made the hype even higher. I didn't think it was possible. So I'm so excited. Thanks so much for watching this analysis video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps me out so much. And follow me on TAD and support me on TAD. It's free. It's easy. 500 TADs a day would help support this channel. So if you haven't seen my other Last of Us videos, I'll leave a link as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more.
They are nested with sin. Free them, that they may know my... Yara! Where is the other apostate? Clip her wings.
Yara. Demons are coming. Cut her down. She's one of them. Lev. Watch your backs.